Ishavatara Karunamaya Vigrahaya Stuttaya Sarva Yagatam Paripalakaya Dharmaisya Rakshana Vidhir Yishu Krishna Namne Meri Yosefu Sutaya Namo Namastu. Our salutations to Jesus Christ, the son of Mary and Joseph. He is an incarnation of God and an embodiment of compassion. Jesus, that adorable one, was born to protect religion and to save the world. Our salutations to him again and again. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Sermon on the Mount. We are observing our Christmas service. Today actually is Holy Mother's birthday, but we talk about Holy Mother last Sunday so that we can have our Christmas service today. Before I speak the topic, I shall give you a little background of Bible, the New Testament. What is Bible? Life and teachings of Christ. That is Bible. That is the scripture of the Christians. Life and teachings of Christ. If you read the red letter Bible, you will find it takes 2.5 to 3 hours to read the entire utterances of Christ. Only 2.5 hours to 3 hours. That's it. He lived only 33 years. We see him in public only 3 years. But see the impact, the power, the influence of those sayings of Jesus. Still they are inspiring millions and millions of people all over the world. There are, according to 2020 statistics, there are 2.6 billion Christians in the world, the largest number of any religions we find in Christianity. You see, there are 3 religions in the world that are missionary religions: Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. They convert people, they proselytize. Hinduism, Judaism, and other religions, they are not proselytizing religion. But Buddhism spread through love and compassion. Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukhaya. In 250 BC, 1/3 population of the world were Buddhists. Whole parts of Eastern Asia, India, Pakistan, or India, Sri Lanka, all Southeast Asia, Japan, China, all are Buddhists. But Christianity Christians and Muslims, they used force, converted people. But I always say religion cannot be forced. We shall talk about it. Amazing. So the Hindus believe that Jesus was an incarnation of God. What is incarnation of God? God in human form. The infinite God takes a human form and comes to this world to fulfill their mission. What is their mission? Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmaisya. That verse says, when religion declines, the religion prevails, I incarnate. To save the good and to destroy the wicked, I am born in every age. That is the declaration of Krishna in the Gita. God incarnates to fulfill his mission. You see, sometimes the world becomes unbalanced. Materialism, spirituality. If materialism is rampant, selfishness, cruelty, war begins, greed. People are not happy, then spirituality comes. And this is the balance we find in this world. Who brings this balance? Avatar. It needs tremendous power to bring, to subdue this worldliness. The avatars. Jesus' lives and teachings were found in the four Bibles. Bible according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Matthew was a disciple of Christ. He was a publican, tax collector, who used to collect tax from the Jewish people and give to the Roman emperor. They are despised, they are no good people. They torture people and collect taxes. That man became a disciple of Christ, Matthew. His Bible, he was a direct disciple, his Bible came direct from his own collection, eyewitnesses account. Second, Mark. Mark did not see Christ. He was a companion of Peter. So whatever he heard from Peter, that he recorded in the Bible. That is Mark. Luke also was not a disciple of Christ. He was a companion of St. Paul. So whatever he heard from Paul, that he recorded. That you see in the Bible. But John is a direct disciple of Christ. His collection is direct. Regarding John's Gospel, Swami Vivekananda remarked, in the first 5 verses of John is the whole essence of Christianity. Each verse is full of profoundest philosophy. What is the profoundest philosophy? In the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was God. The Word became flesh. The light shineth in darkness, but darkness comprehended it not. Those are the 5 verses of the Bible, according to St. John. The Word, Shabda Brahma, according to Vedanta. Sound. The whole creation came from the sound. Sound comes from silence, merges into silence. This whole world is nothing but name, sound, form. Name takes a form. Chair is a name, it takes a form. Microphone, name takes a form. Chetanananda is a name, takes a form. So name and form are always together. The Word became flesh. Word became Christ. These words, we cannot see the Absolute. We cannot see the Father, but we can see the Son. Father is the absolute, Son is the manifestation. So we can see the Word has become flesh. That is Jesus. Amazing how this philosophy tells us absolute cannot be known. We cannot know the Father, but we know the Son. We can get the glimpses of the infinite through the Son, the human Christ. So the message of these divine incarnations are the message of God. That I wanted to say. Sri Ramakrishna gave a very beautiful illustration. Here is a big palace and there is a roof. And behind you, and all the rainwater which falls on the roof, it comes out through different spouts. Those spouts in our part of the country, you will find the head of a lion or head of an elephant. It is an architecture, and then water gushes out. You may think that water is coming out from the mouth of a lion. No, the water is coming from above. So when you hear the words of the divine incarnations, that Shakti, that power, the sound, the message is coming from above. That's what Ramakrishna said. To give an illustration so that you may understand the words of divine incarnations are so important. So when we read the Bible, the words of Christ, or Gita, the words of Krishna, or Gospel of Ramakrishna, the words of Ramakrishna, they are coming direct from God through their mouth. So when you read the Gospel, you know you are reading the words of God. They are very important, extremely important. That is my introduction. Now we shall talk about Sermon on the Mount. What is the Sermon on the Mount? Among the four Gospels, only two Gospels recorded the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew and Luke. In Luke chapter 6, from 20 to 49, 20 verses 20 to 49, you will find Sermon on the Mount, but in a brief way. But in Matthew chapter 6, 7, 8, three big chapters, only Sermon on the Mount. Very interesting. In Halley's Bible I shall read this passage, it's very important. Matthew places the Sermon on the Mount in the forefront of his story of the Galilean ministry. Although it seems to have come some months later at the time of choosing the 12. If needed, Luke is reporting the same sermon. It must have been that Matthew regarded the Sermon on the Mount as an epitome of Jesus' teachings, of which his whole ministry was an illustration, containing as it does the very heart of Jesus' teaching. We may think of the Sermon on the Mount as being to the New Testament what the Ten Commandments were to the Old Testament. Every Christian ought to memorize the Sermon on the Mount and strive earnestly to live according to his teachings. The mountain on which the sermon was delivered is not named. Tradition says it was the horns of Hattin. That is said. Very interesting. When you read something, if you know a little background, that brings things very crispy, interesting, intriguing. We know a little bit more about Christ. What was happening? Jesus was speaking in Galilee, Judea, Syria, all around. And his message spread. Why? He was showing a lot of miracles. giving sight to the blind, giving the power to walk to the lame. Those who are possessed by bad, evil spirits, Jesus removed those spirits. He was really helping a lot of people, and people came for healing. Poor people. So multitude followed Christ. Please remember, at that time, Jewish settlement, only 5 small settlements on the bank of the Red Sea. Very few 5 places. Galilee, Judea, anyhow, 5 states. That is the Jewish settlement. He was preaching. When he saw the multitudes, do you know what did he do? He took his 12 disciples and went on the mount and gave these teachings, the sermons of the mount. Please remember, these teachings are for his disciples, training. I always say, training, training, training. Training is the most important part of spiritual life. What kind of training you have? You are a doctor. We sometimes check that which medical school you went, who are your teachers, how much experience, training you have. Then you will get a job in our hospital. Training is very, very important. So Jesus took these 12 and went on the top of the mountain, and I do not know whether you have seen or not, I went to New York. I went twice to see Frick's collection. I have never seen such large oil painting, Sermon on the Mount, in Frick's collection in New York. It is a museum. Beautiful, beautiful. I bought some postcard also. Somebody sent me from New York. Huge. Sermon on the Mount. There on the top of the hill, Jesus began to teach his disciples. What did he teach? First, he taught 9 beatitudes. You know, it is not a, we want to study Bible from different angles, from Vedantic perspective, various ways, so that you can understand that how to understand these teachings of these great incarnations. Nine Beatitudes. We know 10 commandments of Moses in the Old Testament. We know 9 Beatitudes of Jesus. We know 8-fold path of Buddha. We know 8 steps of yoga by Patanjali. You know, amazing how the great teachers put the numbers. 7, 8, 10. Those teachings are eternal. Why? Nearly 3,000 years ago, the 10 commandments are taught. Still, those commandments, do not steal, do not commit adultery, do not lie. Those teachings are eternal. They never become old. So Jesus' teachings will never be old because they are the truth. Truth never becomes old. The teachings of the Upanishad, Gita, they are ageless. They will never be old. Our society may change, many things may change, but truth never changes. Jesus started, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Poor in spirit, what does it mean? You know, sometimes I consult these words with my dictionary. Poor in spirit. Jesus meant this is the first teaching. If you want to be my disciple, be humble. Poor in spirit means humility. Be humble. As Sri Ramakrishna says, water never accumulates on the top of the mountain. It goes to the valley, down. So if your head up, you will not learn anything from your teacher. First, be humble. Chaitanya says, Tinadopi sunichina, toropi soisuna. Be humbler, be humble than a blade of grass. Be patient like a forbearing tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant the name of the Lord. That is Chaitanya's teaching. Poor in spirit. Sometimes people are puffed up, inflated with their egos for their beauty, for money, wealth, for learning. These are the few things, or any skill, musicians or some talent, they become very proud. There is a beautiful saying of Shankara's Muni Ratnamala, Ko Doridra, Jaisa Trishna Vishala. Who is poor? The person who has many desires. What a great statement. You may be a billionaire. That doesn't mean you are rich, you are poor, if you have desires. Desires. It is hard, Christ himself said. It is easy for a camel to pass in the eye of a needle than a rich man go into the kingdom of heaven. That is the utterance of Jesus. Rich people, those who have too much money, inflated money. It does not work. So blessed, because you people have come to me, Jesus said, blessed you are. Many are called, but few are chosen. Listen, my boys. Supreme blessedness and happiness will come to you. Blessed. Krishna also mentioned in the Gita, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena shevaya. First be humble, go to a teacher, ask questions and serve the teacher. He will teach you the great lessons. So the first teaching we find of Jesus said to his disciples, poor in spirit. Then this kingdom of heaven, quite often it is a Jewish way to express God's abode. If you are poor in spirit, you will be a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. You will dwell, you will live in the kingdom of heaven if you are humble. The second teaching, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Mourn. We understand, we know the meaning of the mourn. Why do you mourn? If somebody dies in my family, we mourn. When we lose money in the share market, we mourn. If there is something, accident happens, we mourn. This is the way we mourn. We understand the word mourn this way. But Jesus meant something else. It is not the mourning for the losing the worldly pleasures or worldly wealth. It is spiritual discontent. It is biraho. Do you know what biraho means? Pang of separation. I am separated from my beloved. You can hear that song, it is in the YouTube. Quien me separará del amor de Dios. It is a Spanish song. Who can separate us from the love of God? Quien me separará del amor de Dios. I have a tape of that song. Some nuns in Spain sang it, and National Geographic people recorded it. Beautiful. Those nuns sang from their heart. You can feel it. Who can separate us from God, from the love of God? That Jesus meant here. They are mourning, crying to be united with God. They are blessed. This thing we find in the Bhagavatam, how the gopis, if you read the Gopi Gita, book 10, 30 to 34 chapters, you will find Gopi Gita. There we find this kind of mourning. We want to be united with our beloved. That then you will be comforted. Then God will appear before you. When the gopis are crying, Krishna appears before them. Because tears washed away all their ego. In the Chandogya Upanishad, we find Narada went to Sanat Kumara, Anwara Brahman. Aham shochami, I am submerged in grief. I am lamenting. I am grief-stricken. Then the teacher asked, why? What for? I do not know the Atman. I know 64 branches of learning. Not that I am uneducated, but I do not know God. I know everything. Amazing, mourning. Then you will be comforted. Number 3, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Meek. When I think about meek, do you know what do I think? Like a sheep. Very humble, innocent. Blessed are the meek. Meek in our language is called namro, bhadra. Namra means very gentle person. Bhadra means very civilized, very full of civility. That is called meek. In the Mahabharata, there is a verse, Mriduna darunam hunti, mriduna hunti adarunam, nasebbo mriduna kinchit, tasma tikšnataram mridu. Mriduna darunam hunti, mriduna means modesty. Modesty conquers the cruel-hearted person as well as soft-hearted person. There is nothing in this world which you cannot conquer through your modesty, your gentleness, your humility. That Jesus was telling. And Swamiji also mentioned, before you be a monk, first be a gentle person. First be a gentleman, then be a monk. It is very important. A monk with rough temper, with this, uncivilized is not a very good sign of a monk. they shall inherit the earth. How can I inherit the earth? Do you know how? You will conquer the hearts of the people. Oh, that person is so gentle. Immediately, you will find in your society a person, good person, he conquers the hearts of the whole community. That is the way you will conquer the world. That Jesus says. First be gentle, civilized, modest. Self-surrender to God. Even though, perhaps, I do not know whether we have this book or not. Swami Prabhupada wrote a book, Sermon on the Mount according to Vedanta. It came in the Vedanta West magazine. So when I first came to Hollywood in 1971, it was 4th of July, Vivekananda festival in Trubhuko Monastery. Swami Prabhupada was there. By the by, I told Swami, you know, this book, this kind of book we don't have in our language. Somebody should translate this book. Then Swami said, you translate it. So I did it. Then it came this way. This whole English book I translated. It has come several editions in Calcutta. Blessed the meek. The Chinese mystic Lao Tzu mentioned, of the soft and weak things in the world, none is weaker than water. But in overcoming that which is firm and strong, nothing can equal it. That which is soft conquers. That which is soft conquers the hard. Rigidity and hardness are companions of death. Softness and tenderness are companions of life. It is a beautiful saying. You know, water has a power. You see, it is soft, my goodness. It has tremendous strength. The force of the water. If you go to see the Niagara Falls, I saw several times. See the power of the force of that water. Meek. Meek means be gentle. First be humble. And second be have hunger for discontent. And third is meek. Fourth, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. It is very, very straight. We understand hunger for God, thirst for God. I remember it was in 1976 in Philadelphia. Mother Teresa raised a slogan in America, hunger for God. So I was in Hollywood, people got excited. Uncle, why are you so excited? Open the Gospel of Ramakrishna. Almost in every page, Sri Ramakrishna said that thing. 100 years ago. Hunger for God. Yearning, longing for God. Sri Ramakrishna said, when you have this yearning, it indicates that you will realize God. When you see the golden glow in the eastern horizon, then you know the sun will rise very soon. But the sun has not yet risen. But you know that is an indication. So when you have this hunger, then you will see God. Hunger. When you are hungry, we run to the kitchen and find out what is in the refrigerator, or in the cookie place, or in the cereal. We will have to eat. There is no other way. Hunger. That kind of hunger is necessary in a spiritual life. But do you know what? If your stomach is full up to this, and if I serve gourmet food to you, you will reject it. Swami, my stomach is full, I cannot eat anymore. Most people, 99%, 9% people are not hungry. We have no hunger for God. We have hunger for everything. That is the reason Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kosya jata siddhai jatadamapi siddhanam kosyin mam vetti tattvataha. Among millions of people, those who come to spiritual life, only few succeed. Only few, among billions of people, only few come to the spiritual life. And among those who come, only few will succeed. Look at the condition of the churches, temples, synagogues in this country. Almost empty. People do not go because they are not hungry. Only Christmas time and Easter time people go to the churches. That's all. Very few people go to the churches regularly. And this hunger, as I said, it cannot be forced. I sometimes give an example. The day you work in the backyard, digging, shoveling, cleaning, this, that day you consume more food than the other days because you did a lot of physical exercise. That day you eat a little bit more because you are hungry. Similarly, in spiritual life, the more you practice spiritual disciplines, spiritual exercises, you will be hungry. That is the reason we need holy company. Holy company. When holy company is all the time not at your home, holy books. And now to holy lectures through YouTube. YouTube is now the guru, you see. YouTube. But it is true. Many good things we can learn from YouTube. Many, many good things, I tell you frankly. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst. Christ said, ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. And knock, it shall be opened unto you. Knocking. We are not knocking the door of God because we are not hungry. Exercise. More you practice spiritual sadhana, the more your hunger will come. And holy company. You know, we are very sorry that nowadays we could not open our church for everybody. You know, we have some registration, those who come. But what to do due to this pandemic? This thing come. But anyhow, many people are watching our talks through live stream, through YouTube. At least they are connected. Thanks to this modern technology. Sri Ramakrishna said, cry to him with a yearning heart, and then you will see him. After the rosy light of dawn, out comes the sun. Likewise, longing is followed by the vision of God. He will reveal himself to you if you love him. With the combined force of these three attachments, the attachment of a miser to his wealth, that of a mother to her newborn child, and that a chaste wife to her husband. Intense longing is the surest way to God's vision. That is the teaching number 4. 5. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Merciful. If you are merciful, you will get mercy. If you smile on the mirror, you will get a smiling reflection. Gloomy face, gloomy reflection. I read a funny thing. In the Bank of America counter, they say, if you are gloomy, grouchy, or simply mean, there will be $10 charged for you extra. Those who come to spiritual life, they should be happy. People will see your joyful face. Blessed are the mercy, for they obtain mercy. Whatever you will give, that you will get. Chaitanya told his main disciple, Sanatana, Jivedaya name ruchi Vaishnava sevan, iha bina dharmanai shunu Sanatana. Listen, Sanatana, my favorite disciple, I am telling you the essence of Vaishnava religion. Jivedaya, compassion to the people. Name ruchi, taste in God's name, chanting God's name. Vaishnava sevan, serve human beings. These three are the essence of my religion, Chaitanya said. Sri Ramakrishna agitated a little bit. He says, who are you to show mercy to the people? It is God shows mercy. You better serve them. Serve human beings as God. That is Sri Ramakrishna's interpretation of practical Vedanta, which Swami Vivekananda taught. In the Upanishad, we find Brahma, the creator, made a sound, da. Then he asked the gods, what do you understand? Da. Daimata, have self-control. You are right, you go. Then human beings came. Brahma said, da. What do you understand? Datta. Be charitable. Human beings are very selfish. Be charitable. That will bring you strength. Then the demons came. Da. What do you understand? I understand da means Dvayadham, be compassionate. The demonical people have no compassion. People understand teachings according to their mental makeup. Patanjali says, undisturbed calmness of the mind is attained by cultivating friendliness towards the happy, mercy and compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and indifference towards the wicked. How to maintain the calmness, equanimity of the mind. That is the prescription of Patanjali. Six teachings of Christ, 6 beatitudes. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Very simple sentence. No ambiguity. Very clear. But we are 2000 years we are listening to that sentence, but we are not seeing God. Why? Because we are not pure enough. Do you know what Swami Vivekananda said in Thousand Island Park in 1895 to the American students? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. This sentence alone would save mankind if all books and prophets were lost. This purity of heart will bring the vision of God. That's a beautiful sentence. This sentence alone would save mankind if all books and prophets are lost. That's one sentence, that's enough. Purity. Pure in heart. What do you mean by pure in heart? Pure food I am, we understand. Pure water, pure air, pure heart. What does he mean by pure heart? Who pollutes the heart? Heart here, heart means mind. Who pollutes the mind? Desires. It is the desire pollutes the mind. I told you many times about the Vedantic position of the desire. Avidya, kama, karma. All human beings are rotating these three places. Why do you work? Why? What for? To fulfill your desires. Why do you have desire? Because of ignorance. It is the ignorance is the mother of all evil. This ignorance creates desires, imperfections, unfulfillment. So when we go to the shopping mall, we fulfill our desires, you see. But again a new desire comes, again we go to the shopping mall. Again new desire comes, we go to the shopping mall. Unending. There is no end of human desires. The desire pollutes the mind. But desire is also of two kinds, good desire, bad desire. It is good desire brought you to the Vedanta temple this morning. I shall go listen to the Swami. That's the reason you came. That's a good desire. But this bad desire, perhaps, well, it is Sunday, yesterday was 25th, let me go and have some drink with some party or some tavern. That is also desire. It is all desires. Desire. I am just talking about purification of the heart. This question arose again in the Chandogya Upanishad. Sanat Kumar told Narada, listen carefully. Ahara shuddhau, sattva shuddhau, dhruva smriti, smriti lambe sarva granthinam vipramoksha. You have come to know about God, Atman from me? Listen, sit down. Ahara shuddhau, have good food, pure food. Food generally we take through the mouth, correct? No. We take food through the other sense organs also, through the eyes, we eat, through the ears, we eat. Here, ahar means gather inside. Gross meaning is, food means food. Gross food which you eat through the mouth. Actually, ahar means arhiyate iti ahara. The thing which we gathered inside, that is called ahar. So through the eyes, we collect good, bad things in the mind, in the inside, through the ears, through the nose, good smell, through the tongue, through the touch. These are the five sense organs of knowledge. Through that we gather, continually we are gathering things and putting inside the mind. That is the way it works. All your five sense organs are collecting things from outside, external objects, and putting in the mind. So if you collect good things, your mind will be pure. If you collect bad things, your mind will be impure. It is up to you. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. Sanat Kumar says, if you gather this good food, sattva means mind, your mind will be pure. Sattva shuddhau dhruva smritihi. If the mind becomes pure, what will happen, do you know? If your mind is pure, you will get constant recollectedness of God. Only God thoughts will come to your mind. Just think of that. You sit down in your shrine or in your home or in the living room, only you close your eyes and think there are only God thoughts. Nothing else. And if constant God thoughts come to your mind, do you know what will happen? Sarvo granthinam vipramoksha. All the knots of your heart, all the angularities, all the crookedness, everything will be straightened out. Your mind will be completely pure and you will be free. You will be illumined. If a constant God thoughts come to your mind, you will be illumined. I'm just talking about what Christ meant. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That is the way it works. It is a beautiful sentence. I remember Swami Prabhupada gave another beautiful illustration. Here is a table, here is an ink pot. And ink pot was not used for years. That ink has been dried out. There is some dust, some cobweb. The ink pot is fixed on the table. And you want to clean the ink pot. How will you do it? You bring a hose and put water into the ink pot. What will come out? First the dust and the cobweb, everything will come out. And then black, dark ink. Continuously ink will come out. And then, because you put the hose inside the ink pot, finally you will find only clean water is coming out. Because entire ink pot is cleaned out. Everything is cleaned out. That is that Christ meant. If you continuously give these God thoughts in your mind, that flow, that hose, all dirt will be out. Mind will be pure. And you will live in God. You will see God. I remember Swami Chetanananda used to make a joke. You know, American people are very creative. They have tremendous ingenuity. They invented so many wonderful things in this world, these American people. You know, I see vacuum cleaner. He used to say, it sucks, dirt, devil, all this vacuum cleaner. They will collect dirt from the floor in no time, vacuum cleaner. But I hope, Swami used to make a joke, I hope these American people will make a mind vacuum cleaner. It's a vacuum cleaner machine, you put on the mind and clean the mind. How to clean the mind? How to purify the mind? Is there any machine? That you are saying, but here people should invent a machine. That's how it cleanses the mind. Which reminds me of incident in Sri Ramakrishna's life. He was lying down. A very impure person came and touched him. And he immediately got up. He knew that person's very immoral, bad character. Then he said, tell me what you have done in your life. He was ashamed to tell Sri Ramakrishna. If you are ashamed to tell me, go to the Ganges and confess all of your bad deeds to the Mother Ganga. The Mother Ganga will purify you. That man did not wait. He left. Very wretched person. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to take all of your bad karma, actions, sins, but he could not give it. He could not give those things to Sri Ramakrishna. I'm just telling you, this Christ, Ramakrishna, Buddha, they are not ordinary human beings. They are gods in human form. They have a tremendous power of purification. They can, by one touch, one glance, they can purify. They have tremendous power. That is the reason we need holy company. Number 7. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Those who have attained peace, they can share peace. There are many teachers, many speakers. They talk about religion, they preach religion. As it is their profession. Some do not practice religion. So in Vedanta, Acharya means achinoti, the person who practices, only that person should teach. If you are a good heart surgeon and you do a lot of surgery, I shall go to you because you have lot of practice and you have lot of experience. I shall not go to a countryside, a surgeon who did perhaps 2, 3, 4 times a year. And here I see in Barnes Hospital, a surgeon, he does the open heart surgery every day. So I shall go to him because he has more experience than that countryside fellow. Same thing in the spiritual life. These avatars, they are very, very specific. They can remove all the bad karma. In the crucible of discrimination, Shankara mentions a verse, I love this verse. Shanta mahanto nivasanti santo vasanta ballaka hitam charanta tirnasayam bhima bhavarnavam janan vahitunanya pitarayantaham. There are pure souls who have attained peace and greatness. They bring good to mankind, like the advent of spring. They themselves have crossed the dreadful ocean of this world. Without any selfish motive, they help others to cross it. That's the beautiful part. Vasanta Vallaka Hidam Jalan. Like the spring, when the spring comes, the nature blooms the flowers without any effort. I see daffodils, they come of course, spontaneously the moment the spring comes. I saw in the back daffodils, yellow, beautiful, gorgeous, without effort. We do not put water, nothing of this sort, automatically it comes. So these great souls, they bloom, and they want to do good to humanity, without any ulterior, selfish motive. That Christ is talking about. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. These people are illumined souls. They are like Bodhisattva. They are a ferryman. He himself went to what is the other side of the river. So he will help to cross this ocean of Maya and take the people to the other side, to God. That is the Bodhisattva ideal. That Christ was talking about here. You know, when I was reading these things, I was talking about peacemakers. Mahatma Gandhi did not get a Nobel Prize. When I see, some politician and this person, that person get Nobel Prize, I feel, shh. That Peace Prize in Sweden, the Nobel Prize. Peacemakers, beautiful. Then 8 and 9 verses. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, and for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manners of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which are before you. Christ, you knew that what will happen to his disciples. They will be, when I shall depart, when I will be crucified, these people will be persecuted. So he is cautioning them, that these things they do not know, but Christ knew. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness. Don't give up. Hold on my message. Carry it. For there is the kingdom of heaven. revile you, persecute you. You see, when any new thoughts, blessed, good, holy thought enter the society, the old people vehemently oppose. Truth first be questioned, then it will be opposed, then it will be accepted. That is the way truth moves. First, the moment you say something, the old school will vehemently oppose you. Then they will persecute you, ridicule you. But later on, the truth triumphs. Satyameva jayate na-niritam. Truth alone triumphs, not untruth. Then truth will prevail and these people will be subdued. That Christ is telling that this thing is coming. I remember, that story. There is a saying, Putikriter Alankar Lokoninda. The pathfinder, the person, the pioneers, those who bring these great things to the society, Lokoninda, people ridicule them, criticize them, because it is something new. Remember that story in Rome? It is in 64 AD. Nero set fire in Rome and then blamed the Christians. Then people became mad and started to persecute the Christians. So the Roman Christians told Peter, you run away. Your life is more important. At midnight, Peter was running away. Then he found from the opposite direction a light was moving towards Rome. Go Vagis. That is a famous, there is a movie there. Go Vagis. Lord, where are you going? Christ said, there my people are killed and persecuted. So I am going to be crucified again. I am going to protect them. Peter understood what God meant, Jesus meant to him. He again came to Rome and he was arrested. And Peter was not a Roman citizen, so he was crucified. He only requested, my teacher was crucified, head up, leg down. Please crucify me, my leg up, head down. That is the way Peter was crucified. But Paul was beheaded because he was a Roman citizen. He cannot be crucified. Rich Christianity. So Christ was telling that these things are coming. That persecution spread. Christianity spread. When in 1990, when I went to Rome, I saw the Basilica, St. Peter's. Oof, what a great, gorgeous church. That Michelangelo's this Pieta, Jesus on the lap of Mother Mary. Huge. That person was crucified. Early Christians. Persecuted, murdered, spread. As I say, truth alone triumphs. The teachings of Christ, beautiful teachings, spread. Masatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mriturma amritam gamaya, abirabirma yedhi, Rudra Jatte Dakshinammukham Tinamam Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all.